Hello! My name is Literary Haley, and I love to talk about books, specifically romance books, where audiobooks are my jam. The first week of April has come to an end, and I managed to read 3 books. I read the Destiny Trilogy by Beverly Jenkins. This is my first Beverly Jenkins read, and I'm obsessed. I did these on audio as well as followed along with the physical. That is my favorite way of reading. As I mentioned, I love to go into books knowing as little as possible, almost completely blind if I can. Originally in my April Hopefuls video, I had said that I thought that this book followed 3 sisters. This actually follows 3 brothers. The Destiny's Trilogy takes place in the late 1800s on a ranch near San Francisco, California. It's an American historical romance. So I believe this would be a Western historical romance. Book 1 is Destiny's Embrace, and this follows the romance between Logan and Mariah. Logan is the oldest of the brothers, and because of that has become like the head of the ranch. His job specifically is breaking in new horses. He's essentially married to his job. He's in his mid to late 30s and has no intention of really settling down. He's secure in his life, but his house has become essentially a pigsty, and so his mother Alonza is like, no, I'm gonna hire you some help because this is not okay. She also really wants him to settle down and find a wife, and he really can't do that if he's living in this mess. So Alonza hires a housemaid, Mariah. Now Mariah is originally from Philadelphia, where she is a seamstress. She works alongside her mother, but Mariah's had a really rough life and her mother is verbally abusive towards her. Saying enough's enough, Mariah makes her journey to California to start a new life, where she is hired on to be a housemaid for Logan Yates. Upon arrival, Mariah immediately knows that she does not want to be the person that she was in Philadelphia, so these two immediately begin their banter. This is my favorite book in the series. I love these two so much. Logan is so sweet to her, just says the sweetest things like, I want to make love to you in a field of wildflowers, and then takes her to the field of wildflowers and makes her a wildflower crown. Mariah is also like the only woman to ever stand up to Logan. He immediately latches onto that. The two just become obsessed with each other. Now, how Mariah kind of came into this situation was saying that she was recently widowed, which is not true. And she confides in Logan and tells him that this is not true. She's like, well, I'm supposed to have already lost my you know what because I am widowed. So will you teach me? That's how it starts. I did categorize this as a slow burn but insta love. Let me explain. So during the whole duration of this book, it takes place in about a week's time, give or take. So that's why I consider this insta love. But I also categorize this as slow burn because I don't really do anything until like the 70-ish% mark. Up until then, it's just building and building and building. But I love this book so much. Moving along to book 2, which is Destiny's Surrender. And this is the romance between Andrew, who is the middle son, and Billy. And this is like opposites attract or opposite sides of town. Andrew comes from money. He visits this whorehouse often, which is where he meets Billy. And so Billy is a working girl. Billy moved to San Francisco at a young age to start a new life and kind of got wrapped into this society, I guess. But Andrew visits Billy often, and when he does, he brings her special treats like special chocolates, new dresses. He also pays her madam extra money to ensure that he's the only one seeing her. These two immediately have this connection, but they are from opposite sides, and so that will never happen, right? Well, she ends up pregnant, and that doesn't really work when you are a working girl. So she strikes this deal with the madam, says, just let me have this baby and I will give it away after birth. Well, the birth comes and she knows that this baby is Drew's baby, but because she already made this deal with the madam's son essentially is out for blood. Billy and the baby are in trouble. She ventures off to find Drew to ask for help. Drew's mother is essentially like, you guys are gonna get married. I guess you would consider this a marriage of convenience, but given Andrew's stature, he is immediately weary and thinks that Billy did this on purpose to entrap him. They also have this connection, so can they come back? Spoiler, they do, and it's so good. Book 3 is Destiny's Captive. This is the third and final book in the series. This follows Noah, who is the youngest, and Pilar. He is a scarred hero. He was kidnapped when he was 18 or 19 and basically forced into labor. The man trying to force him into labor cut his eye, so he's got a scar along his face, and because of his forced labor, he's become one with the sea. He loves the sea, so this is kind of like his healing, I guess. Noah is essentially married to his ship and the sea. What happens when a lady pirate steals his ship? Well, of course, he wants to find out who she is and get his ship back. Pilar is a part of a rebellion. She has learned how to steal. She's became handy with the sword. She's a lady pirate. She's also a gun runner for the rebellion. And because of that, she is constantly in danger. When Noah finds this out about Pilar, he basically tells her, marry me and I will secure your safety. We can go to California where you'll be safe and your family will be safe. In all of her 25 years, she's never had a man kind of court her this way, and she didn't have plans for it anytime soon. But because her family is in danger for her line of work, she decides to say yes. And these two really hit it off. So I would also consider this like insta lust to insta love. But I also knew I was gonna love this one because I love pirate romances. But this one specifically, it's so good. I love this series so much. I highly recommend the series. I highly recommend following along with the audios as well because they're phenomenal. And I cannot wait to read more by Beverly Jenkins. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.